Here on Ironic Radio Network, 8-Bit Bros. That's number 8. Then bit. Then bros. One word. I strongly encourage you to stay tuned for that. And if you want, they also have a Facebook page and a much better live show. Anyway, 8-Bit Bros, 8 p.m. Ironic Radio Network.
It's 8 o'clock, and you know what that means.
Oh, what up, people? Welcome back to another episode of the 8-Bit Bros. It is the late edition or the post-inauguration edition. We've got a great show planned for you this evening. Once again, this is not a kid-friendly show. Adult language, adult content. So do the right thing, people, and put your kids in the closet.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Yeah, 8-Bit Bros, late edition, Thursday, whatever you want to call it. You know what it is by now. Center box gets a square.
What up, people?
To the left, me, Web Boy. To the right, 846 miles south. The one and only Thumping Loud. Yeah, what up, people? What's going on, gentlemen?
You know it.
Not a whole lot.
I know. It's like all of a sudden there's nothing to watch on TV.
The world is back to order.
No. No, we
it's-
won't say the world is back to order. It's just that the intensity of the chaos
Yeah,
has subsided for a moment.
right. To pause for the cause.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
what I like to call it. Pause for the cause.
Yeah, the intensity of everything has calmed down, and it's weird even watching some news networks. My Philip DeFranco show that I watch.
Right.
Like, you watch them and the vibe is different. They're just like, let's take a moment and not talk about anything. Let's just take a moment and not say anything. My buddy at work had the best thing though. I did end up watching the inaugural speech and the whole thing last night because I was asleep while it was happening. So
Right.
when I woke up, I was like, "Oh yeah, there's a new president." But went to work and I was talking to him, and we had said that the best thing, I mentioned what you said would be his best thing. Pardon Trump, look at Pelosi and say the shit. My buddy was like, "That's really good." He was like, "But the one that would get me, that would really be the selling point for me, is Biden just walks up after being inaugurated and goes, 'All right, now let's get to work,' and walked off."
Right.
If he'd have just done that,
and just mic drop, turn around and walk away.
that would have been like, all right.
Yeah.
I guess that's what we're doing. And then you don't see him go play golf for the first 100 days. You don't see him go play tennis. You don't, every time you're seeing him, it's like getting in and out of the limo, in and out of the fucking helicopter. You just see the work. That would have been the boom. And just went to work.
I think the one poignant thing that he said that I appreciated was everybody deserves respect.
Yeah.
And if I catch you at any point in time disparaging, talking down, saying anything about anyone in my presence, I will fire you on the spot.
You fired. I hate to use that term, you're fired, but he did say that.
I mean, the fact that he's not taking any shit from nobody, and The one thing that I noticed today, like, and I was busy today, so I didn't really like flip into news cycles too much or anything.
Yeah, I have not combed
I
over
did not
this
see
yet.
Pelosi in a headline anywhere, because I think that's something that was like not only directed at like the staff of the White House, I think that was directed at every fucking lawmaker.
Well, I think that Webb was on point with the statement that he had originally made before the inauguration was like, forget the pardon and Trump section of that, but turning around to the his own people and going, all right, now I'm in charge. Let me do my job. Like that, I think was something that was going to need to be established early on for his presidency because Republicans did feel like Nancy was trying to take over the job of president from the inside. It was a feeling that was out there that was well known, so he had to call that right there off the get go to make sure that everybody, I guess, understands he's not her puppet.
Exactly.
You know,
And I didn't see her name anywhere, nor did I see anything about impeachment trial or
well, there
anything
was
of anything.
the QAnon
Oh,
the QAnon girl has said, all right, day one of trying to impeach Biden. She did
Yeah,
put
yeah.
that out as a tweet a couple hours ago.
But I will say QAnon has basically fallen apart.
Yeah. Oh man, people have been making jokes.
Yeah, I've been reading their own posts, and yeah, they're falling apart. They
Oh,
are.
it's the same thing as what was it back when after 9/11? Was it 9/11 or before 9/11? Not the Tea Party. I can't even remember the name. It was the Democrats that all decided to go camp out in the park in New York and protest everything that was going on. I think we were in the Iraq War at that point. It was why can't I think the name of it? It'll come to me at some point. Carry on.
No,
See
no,
if I
no,
can find it.
no. I'm trying to think of it myself, and it's not coming to me.
It was.
But he did declare war in his speech. If you want to look at it that way, what
Well,
did he
all
say?
right. So now here we go with like.
Well, no,
Let
and
me
I
hear.
think it's-
Let me hear this wildness. So
what,
he's
his
declared
words?
war in his speech. All right, tell me what he said to declare war. If I want to look at it that way, which
Yeah.
means obviously he said something that can be interpreted that way or
Well,
another
can-
way. So
anything can be interpreted either way. There's three sides to every story. You know.
so we're saying he declared war. So tell me, Webb, how he declared war.
His words were a rise of political extremism, white supremacy, domestic terrorism that we must confront and we will defeat.
Okay.
Now, some
So
people
that's like Reagan and the war on drugs, and essentially,
Yeah.
it's an
Yeah,
implied
that's what I
sentiment that
feel.
we'll use our law enforcement
Yeah, that's
to
what I
disband these networks within our own country. Because
which it should be done.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I wasn't. I mean, it was it him saying we're going to war. No, come on, stop it. That's these stupid fucking people out there. But on the other side,
well, I
of
mean,
it,
you baited it right up there with the
Well, yeah.
fucking. Here's your fucking clickbait image.
That's right. And I want to debunk it right now for I know people are listening, all you fucking idiots who are posting all over that Biden declared war. Stop. Stop. Don't be a fucking shit ass sore loser. Get over it.
Occupy.
Occupied, right?
Oh yeah, that was the Occupy,
still-
and then the Tea Party.
Occupy
fell apart. The
so
Tea Party
quickly,
kind of
just
fell
like you.
apart the same way once they lost their leadership and.
all these fucking extremist groups, or I guess if that's what you want to call them. I mean, the whole Occupy thing, I mean, everyone got behind that. Me and Ryan had lots of conversations. It's fucking stupid. They don't even know what they stand for. They don't even know what their own manifesto is. Yeah, they fell apart, but they broke up into smaller groups. Now there's like Occupy Democracy and Occupy Republican.
Yeah, it's just like there's Al Qaeda North and Al Qaeda South and Taliban 2.4. And,
Splinter cells, yeah.
yeah.
You know, who else is QAnon's falling apart right now? Who's the other one? Oh shit. The Jessica mentioned their name on
Oath.
Tuesday. Yes, the Oath Breakers. Yeah, there's dissension in the ranks there too.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, because there was a peaceful transfer of power.
Yeah, did you read some of the QAnon stuff? They were still waiting for like Trump to fucking pop out with the army to arrest Biden. It's gonna happen any minute now. Just wait. It's gonna happen any minute.
No,
And then,
I don't
and
dilute.
then
I don't dilute myself with some
yeah,
of that nonsense.
and then they were like, "Well, he's got his hand on the Bible. It's gonna happen now. You're gonna see." Oh,
No, now he's president. You lost.
where's Trump?
He admitted to losing as well. He just said he wasn't going to sit there and show any face at all. He was like, "Fuck you, guy. I'm out."
Yeah,
But I mean, I forget who I was. There was some clip I caught of somebody talking to a former VP,
right.
and it was just them saying, the moment where you turn around after talking to the other vice president after they walked out of the Capitol, and you turn around and it's like the Secret Service isn't there, the car's not there, like waiting. It's you're not you're not the president, and now finding out really that you're also now you're no longer the vice president. Like it's just reality sets in at that point once you turn around from the conversation. He was like, that was one of the strangest moments for me, was you knew that page, that book was closed and that page had turned. Like it was just surreal, the realization of like it's over.
So I want to bring this up in regards to all of this, because the three of us have always made forward-looking statements, whether they were true or not. It always was like food for thought, So here's food for thought. Trump on the way out mentions, the Patriot Party. And now that organization is in full effect across the internet.
Uh-huh.
And I think this is something that could definitely affect outcome of future elections if enough people get behind it. Their idea is to throw their vote towards a candidate if they don't have a candidate of their own. Now all we need is the 39% of the fucking population who still believe the election was rigged and that Trump was always president to get behind a fucking group like this. And now you've got 39 million votes they could throw towards somebody.
Right.
Wow. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So,
point.
In 4 years' time, everyone's gonna forget.
Like we're looking. No. See, I don't think so. Like I think Webb's got a point. There is this cropping of people who definitely are on pins and needles. If you see them in 2 years,
right, the midterms, exactly.
Then maybe. But for them to talk about putting behind a candidate, they've got to win a lot of small candidates in order to put a person forward. So the midterm is going to be the big shift there to see if there's going to be an emerging of any additional parties to the landscape.
Well, the other thought was this would be something that like Don Jr. could jump on.
Possibly.
There would be your, I don't want to say valid candidate, but
no, there would just be a figurehead that had enough notoriety to be a figurehead,
and wouldn't be denied being on any ballot. Period. With possibly 39 million votes as of right now.
Yeah, but that's dependent. Yeah. That's dependent upon how they would structure things before that. They would need more than just that.
Yeah. The other issue there is 36 of their Twitter accounts have pretty much been suspended.
Well, there you go. See, now they're not targeting Republicans only.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, you're right. They're not, but.
There you go. Diversity amongst the bandhammer.
Yeah. And the warning flags we were discussing the other day, I saw another one today. And I checked the original tweet versus the person who retweeted it. Okay. The original tweet, no flags at all. The tweet was from the Canadian government saying back in November, we have never used Dominion systems We don't use any digital systems. You fill out a card, you hand it in, and they get counted, supervised, period. No digital shit. And then the whole thread went on to, well, that's what America used to do, all this other card, blah, 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 blah. No flag on that whatsoever. The retweet had a flag clearly across the bottom. Biden has been certified the president. There was no election fraud at all.
For a Canadian tweet?
For a Canadian tweet that was retweeted by Donald J. Trump.
Well,
so that goes up. I don't want to say it. Kind of. I don't. It backs up a little bit of what I said before. That no matter what he fucking tweeted was flagged. Didn't matter.
Well, yeah, but see, that's him also. Like, what? Let's not act like idiots when we're talking about this, man. That was a strategically placed shot at. See,
yeah.
These people are known for fucking around.
Yeah. Yes.
All it is to validate the further of the other shit, which is why it got flagged, because he was trying to validate something else. It was a chain of continued belligerence out of that account that was constantly going, I'll say crazy shit. I'll say, watch, this will tag to my other crazy shit. Look, Joe Exotic is not getting pardoned. All right.
Yeah, I wish he would.
But he's allowed to vote, and then they would have flagged that.
Yeah, true. And he was allowed to vote. All felons are allowed to vote.
Yeah, because they lifted that on.
Yeah, only for COVID.
Right.
I don't know why.
Yeah, because it made sense.
Gave me the ability to vote. But yeah, I mean, look, it's things I look at and go, wow.
Yeah, can you believe, though, he didn't pardon Joe Exotic?
I know, and they had a limo and everything waiting for him at the fucking jail.
Like, I really thought he was going to go ahead and let that one slide, like, just right on through there. I like the fact that he pardoned Wheezy. I don't necessarily understand why Kodiak Black, but...
He wrote a nice letter.
It had to have been a hell of a letter. But I was also, it was good to see some of the important names come off the list as far as like the nobodies of society that got pardoned by, there was like 100 and some odd people that were part of this, the Kardashian West list of people. And what they said though was Trump, like, even though there was a flash here at the end of it, like, he had only pardoned, like, 85 people during his entire term. He's actually on the low end of presidential pardons handed out.
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of interesting, because they wanted to hit you with these big numbers, but they were only big last-minute numbers. Like, over the whole thing... That's another thing we talked about. We were like, what is the news? What would the news have done if Biden went up there and just dropped the mic? Like, they would have raised hell for 3 days about not having anything to talk about.
Yeah, true. Did you notice they didn't even give you a comparison, really, of presidential pardons? Like, okay, yeah, he didn't pardon that many people.
Well, that's why my outside source stuff, like, I did get numbers. Like, his numbers were relatively low. Like, it was 85 over his whole term, and then 130 in this last day or something like that.
Roosevelt was the biggest with 2,800 pardons through his terms, period.
I imagine he got a lot of letters from prison, like from prisoners that were doing hard labor for various things, because that was a time where that was still going on, where you were doing work camp type shit. So I'm sure back then those presidents were bombarded with letters from prisoners. With him, did he just let people out by getting to get 2,800, or did he spend a lot of time like reading these guys' letters and going, I'm gonna let this guy out. I'm gonna let this guy out. This guy, the look at the penmanship, and he seems well read, and he seems real honest. And did he really go over the things? Because Kardashian West, like Kim, she didn't let Trump breathe on a lot of this stuff. Like, when she was there, she made sure to mandate her time. these are the guys that we've been over their cases, and we clearly believe that they need to be released from prison. And that is the group that got finalized, like, in the last minute.
Yeah.
With still none of our conspiracy guys out there, though. None of the big guys get to come home. They're still on watch list and still hiding out in embassies or foreign countries because
Yeah, I know.
they're
But
still
Assange
not allowed to come home.
I thought Assange would have been one of them to get fucking.
Yeah, people thought.
Yeah,
People
I
thought.
really thought that too.
I couldn't believe he let Bannon off the hook though, because Bannon's shit is like not. It's a lot of money that he straight up stole, and now he doesn't. Now it goes away.
Yeah, that's. Oh, what the fuck did I just? I hit that button. No, hit that button. Okay, yeah, that was. Yeah, I mean, that was kind of strange to me too.
I mean, I figure that he probably owed him the favor for all the shit talking that had happened, like, prior to him getting kicked out of everywhere and prior to Trump kind of, like, kicking him to the side and being like, fuck you, dude. Because that happened, and maybe this was his way of just going, all right, dude, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about all that shit, man, but you had a bunch going on. You just couldn't be around. You were doing too much.
Yeah, he got himself in a shitload of trouble. He was what, former investment banker. Yeah.
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 Steve Bannon, Breitbart News.
Yeah. What stupid people. Yeah, I was a little shocking that he was fucking pardoned.
Yeah.
And then you saw other ones, like the fucking poor sap who was in jail for, I don't know, 29 years because he was in a car with somebody who cracked it up and it was a stolen car, 29 years in fucking jail. Trump was like, pardon this dude. He's got no reason to be in jail. Pardon him.
Well, it was like when you look at the regular people that were on the list, it was a good list of like regular people, but we're like, okay, I could see.
Yes.
Surprised, like you say, that the numbers are actually low when you look at the overarching of like presidential pardons, but
the more I think about all this, the more I'm glad that the transition of power happened, period. That it wasn't a fucking all-out war, which a lot of us thought it might have been.
I'm just glad it wasn't a shit show either.
Yeah. Because a lot of people thought he was never going to leave the White House, and if they did, it would be them carrying him out, kicking and screaming.
Yeah, that it was going to be a display.
And you start to see what some of his ideas are. I mean, again, I will say I'm not happy with quite a few, but we'll see where it goes. I mean, everybody's entitled not to be happy with something.
We're not going to see none of his ideas because Biden, within an hour of being president, just rescinded like 60 orders that were put out by Trump.
Yeah, I mean, the relaxing of all the border and immigration stuff is a little much to swallow. I have to digest it more. You want to stop the wall, fine. Whatever. Someone will just restart it eventually.
Getting back in the Paris Accord.
Paris Accord, and that's meaningless. I've said it all along. All that does is waste money from the United States. That's it. The Paris Accord is a joke. It's a complete joke. They've done nothing, and all they do, and the United States is always fucking, Trump was right on that. The United States is just paying the brunt of it. Because it was kind of like his whole shit with, what was it, NATO, that no fucking countries were paying into it. And then he put up a big stink and fucking threatened to get out of that. And all of a sudden, money started coming in. Yeah, maybe it wasn't as much as we pay, but at least some of these countries are paying their 2%. The Paris Accord, it's meaningless. That's the problem with it. Nope, there's nothing to enforce it. Okay, that's why it's meaningless. If you're going to set these fucking laws that, okay, the entire world's got to be carbon neutral by 2050 or 2080 or whatever, and then you've got a company like China that turns around and goes, well, we're just going to build 3 more fucking coal plants because what are you going to do about it? We need more electricity. We're building more coal plants.
Yep.
And everybody goes, well, oh, okay. Right. There's nothing we can do about it. We never really thought about that.
Well, yes, let's not act like they're doing it willy-nilly, though, either. They are buying carbon tax
Sure, carbon tax.
in order to validate
Sure. How do you think Elon
their
Musk made fucking $1 billion last year, cash
right.
free?
Yeah, they are buying carbon tax, like
And why was Elon Musk even granted fucking carbon credits?
because the production of the batteries. They're horrible. They're horrible. They are like one of the worst things, and he knows it. He agrees
Yeah.
that they need to do something different, but right now that's just what it is.
Yeah, that's why that other company looks quite interesting with their glass-powered battery QuantumScape.
I started watching this spy show on Netflix, a spy technology show. Like that, it was just recommended to me last night when I got home, and I started watching it, and it there was the one piece of technology that was put in like a United States seal
Yeah.
from Russia. Like the guy was there as an ambassador. They gave him the thing. He hung it up in his office. They took it down one day. Like 7 years it had been on the wall. And
Right.
they took it down and were doing something with it. And they noticed this thing. And so they start looking at it. Dude, it was completely non-powered.
Interesting.
And they could activate it by sending an RF frequency to it.
Okay.
And it would essentially turn it on and would send back at another frequency
Data.
verbal conversation.
Yeah, data. Uh-huh. Interesting.
But completely no powered system in it at all. They said it's still a marvel in spy communities, this thing. They know how it works, but the fact that somebody made it,
yeah,
this is the most amazing piece of technology in spy networking, like still since the Cold War. Because they're like, this shit is way too fucking cool.
What show?
Shit. Hold on, let me pull up my Netflix.
All right, you pull that up, and I'll ask anybody here: have you watched Lupin on Netflix yet?
No, it's in my queue.
70 million people watching the first 28 days.
Woo.
Subtitled, right?
So you know what's that?
Subtitled?
No.
Oh, this is the guy who changes his fucking. He's the Catch Me If You Can dude, essentially.
Yep.
Yeah, I've seen the intro for the show, but I didn't actually see the show.
5 episodes. That's it. It's 5. It's 5. It's one of the reasons why Netflix stock went through the fucking roof. Their new content that they're putting out that is what everybody feared. Well, excuse me. Not what everybody. What the MPAA feared is that streaming services would make content that would rival movie theaters. Netflix needs to open their own movie theaters up. Buy fucking movie theaters and just show your premieres for one night only in the theater.
Didn't they start doing that though?
I mean, but for everything, not just to get it Oscar worthy, because some of this content I'd like to see on a big screen. Apple's got that fucking show too. I'd like to see that on the big screen.
Servant?
Yes.
Great show. I told you guys about that last year.
I know that, and I don't have Apple Plus or Apple something or Apple whatever. Spycraft?
That is the name of it, Spycraft.
All right, I'm gonna check that out.
I'm sure you can find that up on your torrents.
I don't like to pirate streamed content. I'll be completely honest. I'll fucking pirate the shit out of anything in a movie theater.
That's why he's trying to get this shit into the movie theater.
so you can justify the pirating of it.
You know what?
Put it on a big screen. It's okay.
We see how you work these loopholes, motherfucker.
Dude, points for you because I never even thought of that. And when you just said it, I was like, wow, now I really do sound like a fucking complete 100% thief.
Yup. You just naturally spit it right on up there. I was like, he's got a whole alternative motives.
That was open mouth insert foot right there.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah. But, I mean, some of that content I'd love to see on a big screen. Something bigger than, okay, I only have 55 inches here. Sorry, people. I don't have a 65 or an 85 Although the prices are dropping like crazy on them now.
My girl's got the 65 LG in the living room. She really likes that, but she still wants the 80. Like, she wants to
Yeah,
go
bigger.
real
Yeah.
big. I was like, that's why we got the fucking projector, baby. She's like, yeah,
Yeah.
but it's only HD. We need a 4K projector now.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna have to buy 2 new monitors soon too.
Yeah.
Got to get to the 4K. You got to be at that point. I mean, and buying an 8K, yeah, you could do that. The price point's not there yet.
Price point's not there. The content's not there.
Yeah, there's zero content.
Yeah, but there's no point in having an 8K monitor when you're sitting 18 inches from it.
Oh no, I wasn't more thinking big screen. Versus,
I'm just saying, like an 8K computer monitor is virtually pointless.
Yeah, and it will be for another. I think content on computers will start to hit within the next year. It'll be minute, and it'll gradually build.
Yeah, they're working on really trying to get solid 4K content right now across the PC. Like,
but you still got to remember, you're talking pixels now, and once you get to 4K, you're talking math and distance and
you're talking all that
relation to everything.
Yeah,
like
you're always talking that. You know the motto. I used to do that shit for a living, and what was I want to put.
Yeah, but 4K really pushed it forward when it was like, before you go buy a 4K TV, measure the distance of where you're putting the TV to the couch.
Yeah, that's exactly was the rule of thumb.
But now we're talking about getting like 32-inch 8K or 4K monitors that, I'm sorry, I'm sitting 2 feet away from my monitor right now at 27 inches.
Right.
So now you're sitting here, and when you're working and you're leaning over your desk and you're doing things and you're typing, and you're 18 inches from the monitor.
True.
So that whole relational aspect of, is it to buy it just because it's 4K? Or are you actually going to get the benefit out of what you're buying? And sitting 18 inches from a 32-inch monitor,
I get
4K.
Yeah, I get
you
that.
are not getting the benefit out of it.
Right.
I get that. I mean, what am I, like 3 feet away?
But you got to remember that that advertisement, that push there in marketing is directly at gamers.
Yeah.
That they're trying to get them to graphically spend all their money.
Yes, it's totally anything more than fucking HD is for playing video games. I mean, you don't need. I shouldn't say that. I'm going to take that back. It's not for playing video games. You could sit at your desk and work and watch YouTube. And there's plenty of 4K content on YouTube. There's 4K content in other places, but yeah, I mean, primarily, unless you've got some sort of rig system where you're playing games. You're playing games on 4K. That's what you're doing. Everybody just left me all at once. Was there a fire I didn't know about? I know. I see you. I know. But, yeah, I mean, and I'm not taking away from anybody or anyone who's sitting with 4K monitors, gamers or not. I mean, if you're sitting gaming on 2 4K or 3 4K monitors, then fuck yeah, go for it, man. If you pay room for it, and we've had this conversation all the time. There's no way I'm ever fucking gaming here. It doesn't have the room. There's no way to make the room for it. That's why I want out of here.
Well, that's why I've been saying the whole time. I'm like, do your redesign.
Yeah,
it was either going to be in the attic, but then you ended up with the room, so it was like.
Yeah, now I'm, now it's more tangible and more feasible now. I'm starting to look at the furniture situation.
Like, for me, it would make sense to go 4K because everything I would design would be a 1-to-1 representation.
That's right. Design world elements, especially in interface design, where that can be translated to a high definition / 4K television.
Not only that, but if I'm designing an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, and I designed at 100% 8.5 by 11, and held a piece of paper up to it, it would be 1-to-1.
Right, 1-to-1. Yes.
Like, that is a benefit for someone in my field. But again,
for mapping.
You can buy a 4K monitor. I've been looking at it. This monitor that I have that's done all of our remote shows and all that, it's starting to show its like
age wear.
I mean, this monitor is 20 I want to say 2012, 2013. So 7-year-old monitor. I got a nice half moon down the bottom over the Apple logo. That is destroyed screen that is not coming back.
Yeah.
It doesn't like to turn on every now and then. You know, I've been looking. There's one monitor from LG that I want to buy, USB-C, the whole nine, but I don't want to spend $1,300 on it.
Yeah, well, you were also for you in a Mac world, it's a big difference because you got to not only you're replacing a monitor, but you're replacing a hub at the same time.
No, I don't have any hubs. I do have a hub.
Right,
they all have hubs in the back. They still have a hub.
Right, they're built in. But you're talking about a computer monitor from LG or a TV/monitor from LG. It's not going to have all those features. You're giving up something. You're losing shit.
One of them does, and that's the $1,300 monitor.
Oh, okay.
It has USB-C hubs in the back, or USB 3 and USB-C. I have FireWire in the back of this. I haven't run FireWire in 15 years.
Internet?
I have internet in the back of this, yeah. I don't use it, though. My entire place is wireless.
I mean, I could see that being an issue for some people. Then you're stuck with a dongle on your laptop.
You know, I mean, the one thing that I would benefit from is... What do I have hooked up to this monitor? I have a printer. I have the Scarlett that the computer's hooked up to. Or that my sound goes through, and that's it. A keyboard.
I'm looking at this fucking 49-inch curved computer monitor.
Just had one come through.
I'm sure you did. It's a big fucking box, ain't it?
Just had one come through 2 nights ago, I think it was.
Yeah.
And, well, it really struck me because it was the only monitor, and I just saw a bunch of monitors come through and TVs and all kinds of shit for the peak season for Christmas. Like, a lot of motherfuckers got a lot of shit.
Sure. Yeah.
But this was different than all of that came through. Like, nothing like this came through. It was like, here's your USB-C monitor. It was fucking huge as hell. It was, I was like, holy cow.
Yeah.
I was like, I might need to look into this. I was like, this thing looks really nice. But for me, that means also some motherboard amendments.
That was the one I was looking at back on Black Friday. I didn't pull the trigger on. It's only 27 inches, but I don't really need bigger than that. I have a 47-inch TV hanging above my desk.
That's just one of the ones I was looking at. Okay, I know this model.
It's USB-C. That's why I was looking at it.
Yeah, I know this model.
And I could have picked it up on Black Friday for like $329, and I didn't pull the trigger on it.
Right.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been a bad idea at that point.
Right.
I went back and forth, and I was like, I'm replacing a monitor for the sake of replacing the monitor, and then I couldn't find the cam that I wanted because this monitor has a cam built in, regardless of how shitty the cam is. I mean, it's only a 720p cam.
Yeah, but it's Apple, so it's a decent cam.
And at the same time, I'm like, all right, now I can't. I wanted to get the Logitech 4K cam, which is another $200-300.
Yeah.
The one that we were looking at, Webb, that we wanted to buy like 4 of.
Yeah.
Brio or whatever it was called.
Yep.
They don't make it anymore. Or you couldn't buy, I don't know. Back at Black Friday, you could only buy knockoff cams. You couldn't buy no Logitech still from March had no webcams in stock.
Well, sure, because it was a pandemic. That's why you bought stock in the company, made your fucking $11 a share, and got the fuck out. Yeah, I don't know. I was looking at this monitor. It's interesting. I mean, if I'm going to buy 2 monitors upstairs, why wouldn't I just get one that is 2 monitors? Why would I get two?
You mean those extra wides?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at a couple of those because I just don't like the way I don't like the way real estate works on those.
Uh,
Um,
but if you,
Q's got an
yeah,
extra wide here on her PC in the living room,
right.
and I just don't like the way screen real estate works. Like with me gaming and doing other stuff, like I don't like how it distributes real estate.
Okay.
That's why two monitors works better for me is because of how it just allocates things.
Are you running virtual desktops on it so it's two like so it acts like it's two different monitors, or are you using it as one big monitor?
Well, with the way it sets up is initially with what she's using, yeah, it's just one big monitor.
Okay, no, and I asked because I would never, me personally, don't intend on doing that. I'm going to run the profile on it that splits it into two 27-inch screens and run it as if it was two independent monitors.
I really can't click those, man. It drops me out of the video when I do that. So,
Would you rather if I put them in Slack?
oh yeah, I can definitely do that.
Yeah, this is the
Yeah, I
five.
clicked that first one, and then I looked and saw I was getting the Skype logo. I was like,
You never dropped out here.
well, no, of course not here.
So the ultrafine was $12.99. I think there is a more expensive one. There's like a 32-inch or something.
Right.
But this one does the whole pass-through power and everything of that nature. So you plug in one cable into your laptop if it's powered by USB-C, like my MacBook is.
Right.
And I only need one plug for everything.
Right. Right. One plug to rule the world.
Awesome.
Unless you buy this mic and then it's a USB.
If you want to run it USB.
It's a stupid one. It's not even USB-C. It's like you cut and save $20 on it. Give me a fucking USB-A to USB-B micro. Like, why would you do that? Why would you do that?
No, you are using the new mic.
Yeah, I am. Yeah,
I like it. Sounds good.
it's nice. Yeah, I mean, it tweaked a little over here, and this is running XLR, so I have no features. I can't hit my mute button. I mean, it's got, everything's on here, the gain sliders, all that shit. I will say this, I did hook it up to the other one, up to the Xbox. It's over there. And immediately songs that I was almost right there, just right there. The register of that mic in Rock Band is 10 times better than the bullshit USB mics that I have bought over the years. Hands down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's no latency on this, which is nice. It's zero latency.
Well, there's just something to be said by going and putting the money down on these anyway. Like,
yeah, no doubt. I mean, I like I said, I still think I wanted to play with the Rodecaster mics. I mean, they're like $100 cheaper, and allegedly, from the I don't know, stupid amounts of videos I watched, very little difference between the two as far as sound pickup, the room dampening that happens with them, and the plosions. It's pretty similar to this mic, so I still want to get one of those to play with it. But look, Shure makes a great mic. There ain't no doubt about that. That's why they're fucking a lot of money for their good ones. And damn well, any concert you've ever been to, any fucking live stream shit you watch from any kind of major artist, Shure is the only mics they use. It's the music industry standard.
oh, speaking inauguration in music,
Yeah.
I watched the Lady Gaga. I didn't watch the J-Lo part, and I didn't watch another. There was another.
Katy Perry.
Oh, I unfortunately did catch the Garth Brooks part.
Yeah, fuck you for the Katy Perry death, Ren. Okay.
That part
Why?
was.
She sang fireworks.
I didn't really enjoy that part, but no, I have to say, I like the way Gaga did the national anthem.
Yes.
I like where she put her emphasis. Because every artist does something to the song, and here or there, it's they gotta that's their differentiating is.
Yes.
But I like how she jumped on the middle of the song with
Right.
more elongated kind of like passion
Uh-huh.
push, and I
Brought
was
it
like,
hard.
that was a great place to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
impressed. It was nice. But it also everything that came after that just seemed to be a bucket of shit because
Uh,
she
yeah.
did such a great job with the national anthem, and you were just like, yeah, I don't care about none of the rest of this. Fuck off.
The J-Lo thing was cute. Okay. She did God Bless America, whatever the fuck it was. America the Beautiful.
Yeah, it didn't.
And then,
I didn't even
then
click through that part.
said something in Spanish and then sang 2 or 3 bars from Let's Get Loud. And that was that. You had all the country singers there. It was Garth Brooks and
It,
who was the other? Dunn? Or was he there too?
question: are we going to have 4 years of Kamala being the first African American, the first
Well,
Asian, and the first woman vice president? Because is that how we're going to have to announce her every time we talk? Because I was like, that's a mouthful for every presenter to come up and have to
oh,
say
shit.
just to go, here's Camilla, here's Kamala.
But look, we're in that point of unity and
Like
racism.
I can see her. Like every time y'all are introducing her, she's coming up in front of me, so I can tell that she's African American and Asian,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
she's a woman. I can tell all of that by looking. So
Am I,
it's
am I,
just
am I getting
I was
cheered
like,
on
these
this?
poor people that are having to just like note this down. Is this going to be every time they mention her that like to bring her out somewhere? Is this how they're going to introduce her?
Yeah, and I agree with you, and I'm not trying to say it to be a dick about it.
No, I'm not either. I'm just saying,
It-
Kamala Harris, the
it-
VP. I mean, here you go. We know you're the first woman. Like we know.
Yeah,
We also know that by looking at you, we can tell that maybe you're a little Asian, maybe you're a little African American. We can see features in you that say like you got some background to you, you got some flavor. But
but
is that what we're gonna do every time we bring her up on stage? Is be like, all right, so here you go, here you go, here you go, and this is her name.
that'll happen until we're finally what's the word they use? Reprogrammed, re-educated, re something. Yeah, I think it's going to be at the front
Like,
of this entire administration.
yeah,
From
I thought it
every,
was okay the first introduction when they first
yeah,
mentioned her name, but then I heard like everybody else that spoke
yeah, that look they
say
did it
the same thing, and I'm like, oh man, is this gonna be how
it's
y'all do
everywhere
this?
on the Senate floor. And no,
Yeah, that's why I was like, is this gonna be now how they do this? I was like, I don't know, man. I was like, I kind of understood the first time, and I'm pretty sure everybody understands it, but having to reinforce it and reinforce it and reinforce it. You know about me, and when they start to get redundant, like I felt about the 49er coach. Let the girl
well,
coach, man. Be happy. Can you just
yeah,
be happy that somebody got a job? It doesn't
the-
are we really wrapped up in the fact that not only is she a woman, but now she's a gay woman? That has to be reiterated every time you talk about it.
well,
And then they go, well, the first,
yeah.
gay female coach just left San Francisco. It's like, but is it still that necessary to tell us all of that? Like we know, we get it. Nobody's sitting here going, oh, this bitch or this lesbian. Nobody's doing any of that.
Well, what about the first few times you actually get to see whoever it was Biden appointed as the first transgender? Is that how you're going to fucking announce them?
Isn't that a little like, ooh, look at this? Like, isn't that uncomfortable for the people that you're pointing at? Because that's essentially what you're doing at that point is going, look.
Yeah, I'm just
now. I don't know. It's already hard enough when I'm in a room full of people and somebody goes, and coming up to the microphone right now, thump. And I'm like, huh? In the room full of people, I'm looking around going, what? And so to add all of these particulars in front of my name, like, could you host of the 8-Bit Bros, gamer, member of the Bobs, also co-host of the Angry Dandelion Show, thump.
Streamer extraordinaire.
thump. It's like I don't need that many titles, and I don't like y'all know who I am.
And he's part Hungarian. It's thumping loud.
Yeah. Oh God, could you imagine if I actually identified as all of my racial background?
Forget it.
Like if I had people like only speak to me after referencing every identity of my background.
Right.
Because I've made the joke several times on this show and other shows and just in life in general that like I'm multiracial. It just so happens that it's 7 different types of white people. I'm a mutt. Just it's all vanilla.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It is nice to see Fauci's face back. I will say that.
I mean,
I want to see what kind of stupid shit comes out of his mouth, but it was nice to. I watched his first time he spoke, and you could just see in his face he was relaxed.
Oh, dude, relief. Like we said about the news media and everybody else is just kind of like exhaled. Like today, everybody just exhaled and was like, wait.
Yes.
Nothing's going on? Holy cow. Check that out. Like, we still got COVID. Like, yeah, COVID's still going on. Don't worry about that.
I like the idea that this administration is going to allegedly be more transparent when it comes to things like that. Look, we're faced with a pandemic. Whether you want,
I wouldn't have minded if he shut the doors on everything. If he just said, "Let's go to work," and dropped the mic and just sat in his fucking hole, and all you saw were him doing work.
Yeah.
Like that would. It's all right. That's fine. Like I said, as long as he doesn't hit the tennis courts or the golf course for the first 100 days, I'm solid.
He will hit his Peloton and go for a run now.
He does have a Peloton in the White House, and there's concerns about that.
No, not the one that he got in there. Because
I know there
were concerns about he couldn't bring his. They got one for it. Yeah, his Peloton is not his Peloton; it's his new Peloton.
Yeah.
And the thing that's like, oh, this could be a security concern. I'm like, you're the fucking White House. You put in a cable modem and an internet line only for the Peloton.
Yeah.
And it has no access to anything else other than connecting to Peloton. I have a Peloton.
Yeah. Fucking
all you gotta do is connect it to a Wi-Fi router, and that's the only thing it connects to, and it's a secure line.
Yeah.
Oh my God! They got into the president's Peloton bike. What did they find out?
That he exercised.
Bitch rides every day.
Every day for like hours.
Well,
I mean, what are you gonna find out?
Oh, time out. It's more than that, and you know it.
How?
It's more than that.
Well, it's got a microphone on it. It's got a camera on it. Like there's.
If you're hacking into it, it's an Internet of All Things device, which means it's on the internet, which means it's on a network, which means you can break into that. Now, of course,
you just missed my entire point.
Yeah,
of putting
he said
it
put it on its own isolated network.
Well, of course, it's on its own. I mean, we already know that it's on its own isolated network. The Wi-Fi network is.
Well, that would be why they would. Why wouldn't they just allow him to have his own?
You're taking it and putting it on a single solitary network.
Single solitary.
One thing out, one thing in.
Right.
That's all it does.
Yeah.
For the White House.
Yeah, Biden. But the Biden room. Yeah, I got you.
Like,
it's not like it's in
Peloton.
the Oval Office.
It's not.
It's
I
not
wouldn't
like
even.
It's in the Oval Office.
Yeah, I wouldn't have even called it like the Biden room at that point. Like, no, it's just a Peloton that's sitting in the corner over in this room in the White House.
And I don't give a shit if you built a set behind it that looked like the guy was riding in the middle of Tahiti. And I don't think there's a camera on them. Not my model. There's not a camera.
Okay.
It's I connect, I ride.
Well, I don't know if there's an evolution to those that allows you to get with your group.
One up. Now there's a one up, but I still don't believe it has a two-way camera. I believe it's just you can swivel the monitor and move it up, move it down, and shit like that.
Okay.
There's no like dual-way communication. Like you're not on video with other people on video.
Can you talk to it to tell it to do anything?
No.
adjust speed or anything like
You
that?
tap on a screen.
Everything is touch.
You select your workout. Yeah, you tap on a
Okay.
screen. You select your workout. The only thing is, there's Bluetooth for the heart rate monitor you wear
So it's got
to adjust
it's got
the
speakers
resistance.
at a
You turn the
minimum, no
knob.
microphone.
Yeah, speakers at a minimum, no microphone. It's got Bluetooth connectivity that if you wanted to hook it up to Bluetooth speakers, you could. That's the extent of it. I mean, is it an Internet of
I
Things?
wonder what made the Peloton so, because that was the one thing you heard about him wanting to bring to the White House that they were like, hold up.
Because it connects to the internet.
Yes.
Yeah, but at the same time, we're talking about what access it has. The fact that he can't bring his, that they provided another one. Because
Right.
if there's one in the White House, we know it's not his. They told him no, he couldn't bring his.
No, I think this one is his. It's the first Peloton in the White House.
We know it's the first Peloton in the White House, but
Yes.
like I said, the news story that came out was that he was denied being able. President of the things the president wanted to bring to the House, this is the one thing he was denied, and it was his Peloton.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was like, I wonder what made the Peloton so risky of a thing to bring in, like, because we know their IT people could sort it out to where they weren't worried about it being hacked. But what would it do?
I don't know.
Like, what would hacking it do? Like, would they adjust the speed so much to like kill the president by making him race?
You can't even do that. The speed, speed is generated by you pedaling, and resistance is generated by you turning a physical knob.
You could hack into the system and tell it to shut off the AC power, so it was just DC, and that would fry him.
Oh yeah, is that what we're saying? Is that where we?
Where are you getting the direct current from?
It's got a computer in it, so it needs to have some sort of power monitoring. Anything that is computerized has power monitoring. Oh wait, in fact, Apple's the one who created that power monitoring. So you know damn well it's in every fucking device at this point because everybody's already knocked off power monitoring. Got to be able to control how this shit works, how much power comes in, how much power goes out.
Yeah, turn that shit off.
You know, your house is 110. It's not, it's nothing more than that. You can go down there and flip a fucking switch and put it in different circuits and make it 220. Yeah. And overload the shit and blow it up.
440 coming in.
Right.
220 to high-end appliances.
And you got to remember, everything, your house is AC/DC. It just depends on what devices are using, or which appliances, devices, what you're plugging in, what it needs to use, whether it's alternate current or direct current.
Yeah, but the things that use, what is it?
So far in between now. Yeah, it's so far in between.
Yeah, but there are the things, I forget which one it is, but they have a component on them because power is one thing at your house, and then it converts it in those big-ass fucking transmitters.
Yes. Right. Everything coming down the line is DC until it gets to the pole to bring it to your house, and then it's AC.
And then some things would be switched back over to with the DC power inverters that were in the plug systems.
Exactly.
That's why you get the big block fucking plugs.
Yup. Right on the money. Exactly.
It means Xbox finally stopped using DC power.
Yes. Well, they did that with the one I bought.
Well, they did it with the Xbox One X. Like the Xbox One was still battery, like that big fucking battery block. And then the One X, when you and I got the One X, we were like, "Where's the power cord?" And it was just the cord. We were like, "What?"
So confused on the Xbox because I know I have 3 of them in the house, and they're all different.
Yes.
One's an Xbox One. One's an Xbox something.
One X. There was the One, then the One X. The One X was the last gen console that we were all on.
Right.
And then the Series X is the new gen.
What? Right. The cheese grater.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or the smokestack, according to how you use it.
Do not vape into the fucking fan.
Do not vape into the base of the Xbox console.
did have. We were talking about events of the inaugurational parade, concert, evening, jam, sing along, whatever you want to call
Yeah,
it.
like I said, no, for
Accident,
me
but
it was just what happened during the inaugural like speeches, like during the main part of the festivities, from like uh Kamala and Biden coming out and sitting down
yeah,
to them taking
I,
their oaths, and
yeah,
then watching Pence and Kamala talk there at the bottom of the steps on the way out. Like I
Brad, you
watched,
watch.
that's what I watched. I kind of skipped around when there was going to be a music guest. I wasn't even going to watch Lady Gaga, but I was like, somebody I had saw a tweet about her dress and her outfit, and so I was like, well, I'll watch to see what this outfit is. And when
Right,
she
100.
got up there and she grabbed her microphone, and you saw how plumed out that red was in that dress, and the top was very tight with the big bird, the gold bird. I was like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I can see why they talked about it. I was like, that's you know. And then I heard her start singing, and I was like, oh shit. I was like, actually, this is gonna be pretty good. So I stayed and watched the rest of that. But like I said, I got tricked into the Garth Brooks thing. I was
It
playing
was
Rust.
horrible.
I was playing Rust, and all of a sudden my ears are just like, "Why are you making us do this?" I was like, "God, this is horrible."
Look, like I said, Ren, did you watch it? Any
I
of?
only watched. I didn't get to see the. I didn't get to see him sworn in because I was on a meeting. I got to see him do "Tune of Unknown Soldier."
I would have told my boss flat out, we're on a meeting right now. That shit's canceled. The new president is being sworn in, and it is my solemn fucking sworn duty to watch that.
Yeah, when you're
I
on a
watched the changing of the guard.
call, when
Right.
you're on a call with
By the way.
Switzerland, you're not. They
Uh,
don't care.
But yeah, that's well, it's because they're neutral. Go fuck off. I watched all coverage that day. It was Wednesday. We didn't have a show. I sat
Yeah,
instead
there
of
were
playing.
like hours and hours of stuff. I noticed the video that I picked on YouTube that had the whole thing, because I watched the Capitol Insider video, the one that was put on by the guy and the girl in the red jackets,
Yes,
like
sir.
the Capitol employee people.
Yeah,
I watched that one because they were like, "We got cameras that ain't nobody else got."
yeah. I've got.
Our coverage is full coverage. And they started telling history about the rooms, and
Yeah.
their show was entertaining. I was impressed with just like the coverage that they
Yeah.
had.
I used my media to find what it was I needed to see, watch, learn, research. I purposely got up early. Okay, made sure that I got up when the alarm went off at 7 a.m. Came down, made my coffee, smoked my cigarette, made my second cup of coffee, popped my ass on that couch with my fucking devices fully charged to watch Trump get the fuck out and a new administration come in. I watched it all, the entire day's worth of coverage. What I want to say about I had questions that I don't know if I ever got answered. I have to go back through my Facebook timeline to see because I was all over Facebook that day, typing shit, posting shit, reminding people of shit, being a dick, whatever the case may be. The only thing I didn't understand that day was
Webbing on
when,
the web.
yeah, yeah. Well, sometimes it's stirring the pot, other times it's bringing up a debate, and other times it's trying to have a serious conversation. I mean, all my posts and all the shit I say isn't just like Webb's a dick. It's not always like that.
No.
Hit me up on Facebook, you'll see. I'd say Twitter, but I'm banned. And not because of anything to do with the presidential debates. But the when Biden stood and Camilla, both parties stood on the stairs of the Capitol and watched the troops. They assessed the troops. So it was basically, like a Marine parade. Here's our troops. There was a bunch of fucking dudes going by in a band dressed in Confederate clothing. And I'm saying, the fucking redcoats are coming? What am I watching? I don't understand. And CNN, MSNBC, ABC, NBC, CBS, Financial News Network, because I flipped to all of them. Somebody explain what I'm watching. Not a fucking word. As of right now, I don't understand why I saw
The Confederate marching band.
a Confederate marching band. Or not so much Confederate, but I mean, they had the red petticoats on.
That is a British marching band at that point. That is not a Confederate marching band.
Oh, right,
Confederates wore gray.
Right. Redcoats. The redcoats are coming. The redcoats, right? The redcoats. So that's the Brit. So yeah. So they were in British. Had the red petticoats on. The one guy dropped down his staff, which was really a spear, kind of like the dude with the horns who carried the spear. That's what it looked like. And then he took his hat off and he had the white powdered wig on. And then I realized everybody else had the white powdered wig on too. And I'm saying to myself, I don't understand why I'm watching the fucking British invade the Capitol or march by it. Yeah, I said invade. Yeah, that was just to get the rise that Thumb gave me with the that was funny. Yeah, but like, what was I watching? I didn't know what I was watching, and I still don't have an answer. The Lady Gaga thing was, look, she was point on. Thumb said it, and I don't even want to go into it anymore because he said it best. J-Lo, Garth Brooks thinks, okay. The little girl's poem, I shouldn't say little girl. She looked like she was 12, only to find out she's 22.
She's the youngest laureate.
Go ahead. Is this something you learned off watching the presidential debate that they'll tell you 27 times all day to yesterday and today?
Nope. I just watched one thing, so I only know what they said the one time from the smart people who give the tours at the Capitol.
There you go.
That's who I was watching. That was all my video coverage, so they told me smart things.
Yeah, her poem was absolutely fantastic.
It was great.
And then I watched the coverage on CNN where I forgot the guy's name. I like him. He's totally gray hair, keeps cut really short. Anyway, he interviewed that girl, and he interviewed her for like 15 minutes. And I listened to everything she had to say, and I was even more impressed with that. Foo Fighters. That made me tear up, well up, feel something deep inside to the point I actually posted on Facebook. I can't believe I just connected with Sleepy Joe, and I'm going to use the right words, through a Foo Fighters song. They did a rendition of Times Like These, which was amazing. And with everything that was going on in the Joe Biden infomercial that day, it touched. It made you, for that moment, believe that we can move forward, and that everything that everybody's been saying now for fucking 2 or 3 weeks here with unity and change, and you see all the appointments being placed in our government that are multiracial now, if that's the word you want to use. Everybody is almost represented in our government. It made you feel like this is a time to heal and we can move forward. And then you wake up the next day and realize that's not the case when you turn the TV on and it's Joe Biden declared war on people. And the first thing fucking Joe Biden did was made sure all the illegals could become fucking people. I mean, like, stop. When is enough enough?
Never.
That's the problem. That's going to be.
That's what drives major media. It's why they are in existence.
Yeah, and it's to the point where, I mean, Tucker Carlson's speech last night was good. I still think he's a dick, but it was good. He acknowledged a lot of shit that Fox News didn't really stand for. They're a fucking Republican, right wing, so far right you can pull them out of your fucking ear channel. But even, he had some things to say that were like, well, okay, yeah, unity, let's go for it. And then it was like, well, unity doesn't work for everybody. Stop. Then you got CNN on the other hand going, I guess there'll be no tweets today. Stop. Media needs to stop. They need to take a page out of what this government is trying to accomplish, whether you agree with it or not. I don't agree with it all. I'll be the first to say that. The tax plan still hurts everybody. I read it again. Still hurts everybody.
Oh, Webb, everything on YouTube is flagged. Like
Oh, yeah.
everything. So your statement about it being something that had
Oh, they just went
Trump
crazy with they went crazy with
the flags.
yeah, the warning flags.
Well, this is I just went to I googled all marching bands in
Yeah,
inauguration 2021,
Biden's president.
and it says U.S. election: Joe Biden is president of the United States. State certified results after ensuring ballots were properly counted and correcting irregularities and errors.
Yeah, you're right. That's yeah. Yes. It's out.
I was like, what? This
Yeah.
is about marching bands, but it said
You pull
inauguration, so they're like,
yeah.
no, you got to understand. But yeah, it's beating a dead horse here.
Well, and not so much. I mean, yes, it is in that context, but let's take it out of that context and let's put it towards what the context really should be at this point. The AI-driven system doesn't work.
I mean, there's definitely something to be said for that. Yes,
I mean, what's going to happen in fucking but not two, yeah, 2 years when you've got midterm elections and you try and fucking look up who won in your fucking Senate voting? It's going to tell you what Joe Biden has won the election, certified by the government. I mean, this is the AI. If you use the word vote, inauguration, Trump, Biden, you're going to get this flag on anything. Doesn't matter what the context is. The AI doesn't work. It's broken.
your redcoats is the Marine Band.
That's the Marines. Thank you, sir. Because I don't really think anybody answered that on my Facebook post.
No, and it's probably just purely because it was the Marine Band.
I'm a hoorah.
Well, they do have they're marching. They do have a marching uniform that is red coats, white shoulders, blue pants, black sleeve circlets with
Yeah.
black collars. And I'm not. This is a studio performance that I'm seeing here, but that's a studio performance. Marine Band also has the blues that they're using, which they were in their wool blues on the Capitol steps.
Yes.
So thank goodness it snowed because them uniforms is hot.
John Bon Jovi was an absolute fucking train wreck.
Yeah, I heard you ranting about that today. At some point, I saw a flare up of just
Yes.
shut the fuck up.
Mr. John Bon Jovi, stop. Runaway is probably the best song you've ever done. No more surgery, no more albums, and please don't ever cover a classic rock song again. Go buy an island, bro. That's what I had to say.
Yeah, that was the post.
Yes, word for word. Yes. Yeah. The Foo Fighters were fucking amazing. I'm sorry, it was amazing, and I connected. The great thing.
You've always been a fighter, so
Yeah, and that song, I lived through that song through a song saved my soul through a dark side of my life. Yeah. And what was my post? Can't believe I just connected with Sleepy Joe through a Foo Fighters song. That song saved my soul through a dark time in my life. Kind of like the state of the world yesterday. That was posted at 9:17 p.m. Wednesday. And then, of course, I quoted the words to the song. But the greatest thing to come out of this entire inauguration is the plethora, the boom, the dump truck worth of fucking Bernie Sanders memes.
Dude.
That were dropped on the internet.
Dude. Yes, they are fabulous.
Broken. The internet was broken yesterday by none other than Bernie Sanders. It was a fucking win.
Like, who would have thought he was going to steal the inauguration?
You know, it was fucking great. Him sitting in that chair back there, in the folding chair. And how appropriate, because I was waiting all day for somebody. Because we did this to you, Thump, when you were up here, right? Who did we put in the photo with you? When we were all at the concert, hanging out. And there was Chris Christie. When the big meme was Chris Christie. I waited all fucking day, and I saw some great memes. I had them sent to me. I mean, my personal favorite one is the Kevin Smith Clerks.
Oh
With
yeah. Even Soane
Bernie
even
Sanders.
had a comment about that one.
Yeah,
He quoted the Clerks movie, but
yeah. Absolutely great. Yeah, would you fuck me? I'd fuck me. Absolutely great. But the best of the best, and I waited all day for it to happen, was Chris Christie sitting on the beach in his fucking chair, and right next to him is Bernie Sanders in his winter gear.
that's right.
That was for me. That was, I mean, like I said, the Kevin Smith, the Clerks one, top of the cream of the crop. But that one came in a close second, and they're still coming in. I still see them coming
Oh
in. I mean,
yeah, that's going to be an endless barrage. That the Bernie meme is not going to go away like quickly.
yeah. There was a couple of cartoonist New Yorker Times cartoonist jokes. Biden at the podium with his wife, hand on the Bible, and the other guy going, I, Joe Biden, solemnly swear. And then the other side is, come on, man, you're not Joe Biden. I am. It was cute. It was funny. It was funny for that one moment. But overall, the only thing that really pissed me off about yesterday was Cricket Hill Brewing was closed and I couldn't go get the beer I wanted. Well, they put out a beer specific for the day. Their American Spirit beer. And when I fucking went to see what time they opened, they weren't open at all on Wednesday. I was a little pissed. Because that's what I wanted to drink. I wanted to sit back, watch the festivities. Changing of the guard, as Ren said it, as Thump said it before, is important in, I guess, every country, unless you live in Venezuela.
Well, no, it's important there still, but they just don't get a whole lot of choice in the matter at the moment.
I wanted to watch it. I wanted to see it. But you don't get to really.
Okay. Yep. Mitten Bernie has united us all.
Yeah. Right.
So he essentially stole the inauguration and is going to get credit for bringing the country back together because he was just too cute of an old man at the inauguration.
Yeah, that's true. The only other thing I want to say about the inauguration is before that shit, like people started filing in at 10 o'clock and the inauguration wasn't until 10:50, 11:57 or whatever. That they released, Kamala was what? Kamala, excuse me, was 11:30. She was sworn in, and then Biden just close to 12 o'clock. So at 10 o'clock, they had the presidential band out there, and they were playing nonstop up until the time the ceremony started. And they're playing to almost nobody, like very few people because of the pandemic, because of situations of last week. There was no crowds. And I mean, if you ever watch one of these before, there's usually a couple fucking 100,000 people there. But I tweeted this out.
They shut down the mall.
Well, the entire mall was pretty much set up to be, I think it would have been closed anyway with what was going on with the flags and the fireworks and all that shit. But what the band playing for that hour and a half to like a couple hundred people reminded me of the scene in Titanic where everybody's trying to get off the ship and the band is just playing. They're playing to nobody. Everybody's trying to get off the fucking ship at that point, right? So there's nobody there, but they're just playing. They play the whole time until the fucking ship goes down.
Yep.
It just reminded me of that, and it was one of those sad moments, kind of like when they did the walk from the Capitol to the White House, and I felt bad for this new administration because there they are waving people, and it's like, well, who are you waving to? The cameraman, the sniper in the tree, or of course Al motherfucking Roker, who seems to be able to shake the hand of every president since I've been born.
I mean, when your job is your job, and you Al.
No, he gets to shake the hand of every president. It's fucking amazing.
Yep, on that one.
But yeah. So it was a good day. We'll see where it happens. I'm sure we'll chat about other shit.
Oh well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah. What's today? What's today? 21st. Oh, so by next week we should all be playing medium. Comes out the 28th, right? 7 days from now. Haha.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, medium. That's where I'll be.
I'll probably still be playing Rust.
January 28th. Check that game out if you haven't. I'm sure you have. I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about. But
No, nope. I've
oh,
literally just ignored all gaming content and have just.
then just go to YouTube and watch the trailer for Medium. End of story.
I'll do that on the way to work.
Yeah, do that. All right, peace out, people. 8-Bit Bros. Thursday. We'll see you Tuesday. It's Thursday. Good luck, people. Peace out.